Today we are going to learn about multiplicative relationships. Multiplicative relationships have an equation form, and that equation form is y equals a times x. Multiplicative relationships use multiplication to compare the independent and dependent quantities of a relationship. Multiplicative relationships can be represented as tables, graphs, and equations in the form of that equation, which is y equals a times x, where a is any rational number. And we talked about rational numbers yesterday in class. Let's try this. Number 1, determine if the relationship is a multiplicative relationship. So it tells us our input, our independent variable x, is 7, 8, and 9, and our output is 14, 16, and 18. So how do I get from 7 to 14, 8 to 16, and 9 to 18? 7 to 14, I can either add 7 or multiply by 2. 8 to 16, I cannot add 7, so that goes away. And I just have my times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, and 9 times 2 is 18. So that works. So our rule is our input times 2. So 2 times x. And remember, we put the x in parentheses. Our equation is putting our output into our rule. Our output is y, so y equals 2 times x. And there's our equation. Is this multiplicative? Well, yes, because we have to multiply 2 times the input to get the output. I would like you to try number 2 on your own, finding the relationship between x and y, writing your rule, equation, answering this question, and then explaining to me in words. You will check this with your table group tomorrow. Please press pause now. Number 3 says to determine if the relationship is a multiplicative relationship. So we have to look at the graph to figure out our ordered pair. The first x that we see is right here, or first dot, I'm sorry. Our x is 0, and our y is 0. The second dot we see is right here. Our x is 4, and our y is 1. The third dot we see is right here. Our x is 8, and our y is 2. So we have to decide, how do we get from our independent variable to our dependent variable? In this problem, if I notice my input is larger than my output, that means that I'm not adding or multiplying. Right now, I'm going to try to figure out a division, and then, so we're working backwards. If I go from 4 to 1, that looks like I'm dividing by 4. If I go from 8 to 2, that looks like I'm dividing by 2. But our rule is multiplicative. So on a side piece of paper, we're going to look at this. This is like I'm dividing by 4, and I'm dividing by 4. So if I were to take 4 divided by 4, it would look like this in fraction form, 4 over 4. Well, 4 over 4 as a fraction equals 1. And 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Another way that I could write this is that I take this fraction and I have 1/4 times 4. How do I put a whole number over in a fraction? I put it over 1, and I get 4/4. That same fraction that we started off with, which again equals 1. So we're kind of just showing you a few different ways, because our rule is multiplicative. I can't write x divided by 4. But what I can write is this right here. I multiplied x by 1/4. I said that 1/4 times x, which is 4. 4/1 gives me 4/1 if I multiply straight across, which gives me 1. Let's try this again. I think this will be easier to see if we use 8 divided by 4. How else can we write this? We can say that 8 divided by 4 equals 8 divided by 4. That's the same thing, right? Well, if I am dividing by 4, then I am also multiplying by 1/4. When I divide by a number, I am also multiplying by that number under 1. So I'm dividing by 4, I can put 1/4 and multiply straight across, which gives me 8/4, which gives me 2. Okay, so anytime I'm multiplying a number 1/4 times a number, at the same time, this equals dividing by the fraction's denominator, which is 8 divided by 4. So let's say I was taking the number 16, and I was dividing by 4. What fraction would I be multiplying by? I would be multiplying by 1/4. Because you take what you're dividing by and you put it in the denominator. So if I was multiplying 1/4 times 20, what would I be dividing by? I would be taking 20 and I would be dividing by 4. Because whatever I'm multiplying by, I can take the denominator and divide it by that same number, as we see here. If you are still a little shaky on this concept, don't worry. We will practice this tomorrow and go over it in class. Back to our chart. I would like you to fill out the ordered pairs and answer the following questions, and then press play to check your answers. Okay, please check your answers, and then we will also check this in class tomorrow. Your rule was 1/4 times x, leaving your equation y equals 1/4 times x. Number 4. You can download songs for $2 each. Another website charges a fee of $10 more than the number of songs downloaded. Make a table for each website to show the relationship between the number of songs downloaded, which is X, the total cost Y. Compare the tables. So we have number of songs, X, and then we have cost Y. Number of songs, cost. Okay, so they didn't give us any numbers to start with. So we could pick any number that we want. We probably should start off low. So let's use 1, 2, and 3 on both of these. Okay, and then we've got to pull from the information given. On the first side, it says that they are $2 each. That means for one song, you pay $2. And for the second site, it says that you pay $10 more than the number of songs downloaded. That means if I downloaded one song, I paid $10 more than one, which is 11. Okay, then if I get from 1 to 2, that's times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. 10 more than 2 songs downloaded is 12, and 10 more than 3 songs downloaded is 13. I would like you to find a rule and equation and tell me if these are multiplicative or additive. Please press pause now. Okay, here is your rule and equation for both of the sites. We are going to use these numbers to graph our ordered pairs on this table. Okay, so I would like you to graph both lines on this same graph. Okay, and you will analyze the graph, which means you're telling me if it's linear. So look at line 1 for site 1 and tell me if it's linear, and line 2 for site 2 and tell me if that is a linear relationship. And then you will answer these summary questions, and we will check and go over everything in class. Please make sure if you have questions, write it off to the side. That way we are sure to answer them in class.